Okay, and welcome back. We're picking where we left off last time, Victoria 3, as the Great Qing. As I said in the last couple parts, and I still think it is kind of the case in this part, the whole transferring over to proportional taxation earlier in the run was done way too early and probably slowed our GDP growth down a lot. At this point, we're at the point where it makes sense to have been on proportional taxation, but um, the middle step in the middle took longer than it should have otherwise. And we're going to let some time pass, let some of our power plants complete. And I'm noticing that we're starting to generate quite a bit of positive revenue. So this is the investment pool has finally started to catch up with all the stuff we've built for it. So we may need to expand the construction sector a little bit more to support that increased demand. We have big demand for fertilizer plants. Did I queue up some for construction last time? Yes. Yeah, we're trying to slowly catch up with the number of employed by just generating more jobs. Which is one reason we're not necessarily building a lot of farms, for example. Farms are a good thing to build when you've got a food shortage. I say food shortage. Slight food shortage of 5-6K missing. But you have come to a zone, right? If you come in here, we have unemployed, right? So normally you would want to build farms if you need food and you've got spare space, pretty much. We don't, so we don't necessarily want to build farms. Though at the same time we do build farms every once in a while just because there's demand for it. So if I remember correctly, probably a little preemptively, but we swapped over motor industries and one of the other industries, well, motor industries and railroads over to electrification. A little early, possibly, for some states, but that was so that we'd be rewarded for building the power plants instead of punished until we did the swap. Okay. Lots of privatization. Definitely at the point where we're probably going to need to build more construction centers. Which, in and of itself, will fuel more growth. Juna coal. That wasn't the tech we were researching, though I think that is a tech that we will swap some PMs around for, so we'll swap over the Junocol one, primarily because I think it leads to faster naval recruiting. So if we take naval losses, they'll recruit faster. Also slightly increases the officer ratio. Increasing the standard of living for the, well, for a portion of the sailors, effectively. And we're currently working on developing central planning. We'll probably try to actually solve the tax deficit in all our states once we have central planning. Probably at that point be about cost effective to do. Okay, and I think now is the time where we're doing in those construction sectors of the queue. So let's assume that's about 5k each. That means we want to build about 40 of these. Yeah. And we'll go ahead and put those at the top of the production queue so they get built and activated real quick. Construction sectors are in, and instead, well, it depends upon the bias of the private pool right now, I think, with are we making positive or negative? Did just generate a sufficient, or some amount of industrial demand. I don't think we got any glass queued up, so that's probably a thing to build. Do we get another tax if we do that? We do. Of course the tax wouldn't be bad. And then, yeah, so... industry, glass, about... let's say... 60 glass works we want. Oh, game's hanging there a little bit. 6, 7, 8 should be 40, 50, 60. Oh, it's probably hanging in response to some trade routes changing. That is something they're planning on changing in the next major patch, is how trade works work, so that doesn't surprise me too much. There tend to be one of the causes for late game lag in my experience. Okay. We can try that. That makes sense. Another swing requested at swapping to commercialized agriculture. Can I make a stable industrialist? Lower taxes for a bit. Let's lower taxes for a bit. Contested government. That should be fine. And we got a decent swing attempt at commercialized here. Honestly, I'm not actually sure why I didn't accept that one, but I didn't. Victorate. Okay, so we can change Cambodia and or Nej. Oh, Cambodia and Nej. We'll do Nej first, Gum Puppet. Cambodia second, Gum Puppet. We may start contemplating annexing some of our subjects soon. Now, the only problem is once we start annexing subjects, we're going to lose a bunch of authority. Only an available mandate, which we should use. So, the question now is, do I want to move off of construction and lose that 10% construction efficiency for a different group? If we need more people, that would probably be the way to go. Foreign investment. Doesn't matter as much if we've made them subjects, but if we want to... well, because it's increasing the leverage on economic development, so if we wanted to use that as a way to drag people in, that would be a way to do it. Trade. I suppose I could swap over to creative legislature for a moment. This would help with getting things like commercial agriculture through. Or we can stay on construction. We can go up to the higher level constructions, so lower infrastructure costs for construction sector buildings, which isn't really that important at this point. And the final one would be a corporation we're probably not going to use. Or can get decrees in subject states. Yeah, I think we'll temporarily swap over to creative legislature. I think we're only going to grab the first one because we're only trying to reduce the stall chance. Okay, in theory, we're now going to be getting a few of these electric industries online. Which initially is probably going to not be super valuable. No, I'm apparently wrong. Initially is surprisingly valuable. And our pops are, in fact, demanding them. Remember there was one we brought in. Block leader. You were bidden for you. Just gotta wait one more year. Nope, government destabilized a little bit more. Drop the tax level again. Just accept the burn. Okay, what do I want to build? I think we've just got glass and electric industries in the queue. So these are rough approximate numbers for everything we need. So we could use more fertilizer factories. That makes sense. About 20 more fertilizer factories. And then iron, we want like 50 iron mines. Basically fill some Manchuria, okay. And then steel, we're gonna want about 30 more steel mills. And then those 30 steel mills each are going to increase the demand of our iron by another 30 iron mines. And it's going to increase coal demand, but coal demand's low because of the electrification going on anyway, so that's fine. For some reason I just got poppy dock, okay. Someone's probably buying our opium is what's going on there. Oh no, I'm exporting opium. That makes sense. Yeah, that'd be a thing we could expand. Opium's not that bad to expand, coffee's not that bad to expand. our subjects is having a rebellion. Mobilize the Red Banner Army, send them over there. Okay, and we need some more government admin. Looks like we'll put another 10 in Shang-Chi. Oh, let's, in preparation for getting central planning, let's subsidize the electric industry. What that'll do is let them hire up to full, and then when we do the mass shift over to the new bureaucracy, we'll have the supply to support that. Now, it won't come down to one-to-one. In theory, we did the math to provide one-to-one electric industries, but because the civilians are pretty much eating like 2/3 of the telephones, it will still be fairly expensive, but that's fine. Got a new mandate. I don't think I need Creative Legislature 3. We will go take Rationalization 3. Again, we don't need that, but that just spends the mandate for the moment. Wave of popular support. Sure, we want commercialized agriculture far more than we want homesteading at this point. So what that'll do is, right now, half of our agricultural buildings are worker-owned, in theory. Yeah, half of them are owned by the local workforce. If we pass commercialized agriculture, that'll allow the industrial class to privatize those, which will significantly increase the revenue generation off of them. And it will allow, also, to be fair, the industrial class to own them. Whereas under homesteading right now, they can't own them, they can only go at the fellow officials. Ooh, interesting. We're going to have a very... When the monarch changes, we're going to have a very interesting government, because we're going to have to swap over from scholar officials to petite bourgeoisie. Yeah, that's going to be an interesting transition. Right, it looks like we probably want about 30 lead mines. Domestic ones first, please. North Jin and Ilan. And then at which point I think we're going to go and do another electrification pass. We have the tech for brine electrolysis. We haven't applied it anywhere. So we're going to go around and make sure we've got enough electricity to swap over to those type of explosives. And then also I think it's time probably to start contemplating social welfare. We haven't really dealt with the unemployed problem, but at the same time, we're starting to run into demand issues. Basically, all those unemployed people are not demanding anything because they don't have any money. So we can give them some money, then they'll demand stuff that we can supply to give them jobs. Okay, there's our telephone switchboards. So to do that transition effectively, I think we're going to want to come to society. And we're going to grab human rights, because if we're going to go for a welfare law, almost always I want it to be old age pensions, so we'll go in and grab that for the old age pensions. Okay, and then... oh wait, it's bureaucracy. Out with the standard filing cabinets and in with the telephone switchboards. We just shot the price of phones to the moon, but that's fine. If anything, that's telling us that it's time to build more phones. And probably another 20 construction sectors, actually. 20 construction sectors and then a bunch of phones. Sounds like a plan. That's not construction sectors, that's government admin. That's probably what we're going to build after the bunch of phones. Okay, so fill those up, so that's 10, and we'll do another 10 there. Put that up top of the queue. Okay, that's fine. And then we need a bunch of phones. Phones also have no... in fact, actually, we'll, at some point, lower the supply of phones even more to provide radios, so... yes, but build what we need for phones, which is 10, 50 phone makers. In theory, we've already got one everywhere, so it would just be basically throw a second one everywhere. Yeah, just throw a second one everywhere. I think we have exactly 50 right now. There we go. And in theory, that should have helped a lot with taxation capacity, yeah. So we got a bunch of places that do have positive taxation capacity now. And we still got places that have some shortages, so that's what we'll probably start working on. Bureaucracy-wise. The new phones. Spectre haunting the world! Which is going to... fails if progress bar hits 100%, and it's not going to hit 100% because it's downtrending because of our police. Interesting. I think we need even more construction sectors. Well, we have gold reserve. Yes, we want more construction sectors. Another 20 construction sectors, please. Okay, there's another one we can go ahead and politely ask to join the power block. And then there's you, who we can ask to become a new subject. Time to add some more stuff to the queue. We have a foreign shortage, except the phones are in the queue already. So, in fact, the correct number of phones are in the queue. So we just need to get billed. Still doesn't mean we don't want to queue stuff up. The phones are not hit. We're building lead right now. Probably iron, steel. So it's like 10 steel mills. Iron is, well, it's 1-to-1, so it's something like 20 iron mines. Okay, all that good. Then we need tools. Like 15 of those. Oh, and we have this. So we're going to unemployed base. Really want to fill get the unemployed jobs. Yeah, we'll let that cycle for a bit. Might come back and do glass next, I think. Ah, yes, the fun trick of your balance is positive, or your balance is negative, but your balance is going up from all the places privatizing. If anything, that says we need even more construction sectors. Game, please give me another 20 construction sectors. Yeah, cut through the red tape. We have the bureaucracy at the moment. Plenty of bureaucracy. And we're gonna get more. Yeah, I think the unemployment's starting to drop. I wish on this one, in addition to the population graph, it would have a graph of the unemployed. So we can see our unemployed rising and falling over time. So I don't know if we're improving or worsening. I suspect we're improving, but that's just because we've got a big backlog to work through at this point, so it's hard for it to get worse. Especially because I think the functional cap you can have on unemployed is based on how many people you can have in a state before the state stops growing. So I wouldn't be surprised if we were pretty close to the cap. There we go, human rights. Someone has decided to inform our people that they may, in fact, deserve some rights. Mainly to the ability to retire at some point. I might grab that for the bureaucracy cost multiplier. Actually, no, we don't need the bureaucracy cost multiplier. We'll look at something else instead. That's too early for radios because we need telephones. We actually have a telephone shortage. That's going to make the telephone shortage worse. We don't need silk because we are China. We make silk. I suppose I could do... Maybe. We'll contemplate that. Let's do nitrogen fixation so we can make food without making food. I'm not sure if we'll have the oil for that. Though, an oil boom wouldn't be bad. Oil consumption boom wouldn't be bad. Okay, so that's coming to a more reasonable price. And with that, I think it is time. We're going to go and try to defeat the specter that is people dodging taxes. Oh, interesting. One of them is now... I thought you were bigger. Used to be bigger. Used to be my correct term. Yeah, no, it's hired back up. Yeah. Okay, so as far as tax burden goes, now that we're on the final PM, it's 30 tax capacity per government admin, but a lot of our places are, say, got a throughput of 50%, so it's actually basically about 45 per for trying to futurecast taxation capacity. So let's keep it fairly simple. We'll do like 10 at a time here. This one only needs like 9. Make that 8. Like 8. 7. So it'd be 225, be 5. So it's probably only 1.5 there. And then like 5, 5, that's probably a 4. It's probably a 4. 2, 2, 1, 1. That'll that build. And then at which point we'll need more telephones. But at which point we'll also be getting basically all of the tax revenue. There we go, commercialize agriculture. Don't need, it says unlocks new production methods, but the production methods unlocks you are locked to, so just changes them for you. Social Security, people are just in favor of it, okay. Labor movement, corporatist movement. Let's see, can we... So, keep these guys in charge. They... Okay, so they're going to oppose it, so we probably want to kick them out of the government. We're going to swap over to Social Security. Though they would help get onto no migration controls. Okay, so there is a couple laws we could try to pass. We could go no migration controls, which is basically only supported by the industrialists we have in power right now, but the stall chance on that is... Workers' right is opposed. So do we want colonial exploitation? At this point, I think most of the stuff has been colonized, so I think we're going to say no. If we were able to do it earlier, we might have done it. But let's reform the government. Can we get a reasonably stable church faction? So these guys will support our swing over to regulatory bodies, as well as, because we're on no Social Security, they'll support going to old age pensions. They'd prefer normally going to poor laws or prefer normally going to wage subsidies, but because we are on none, they will support going to old age pensions, which is the one we want. So let's do old age pensions. And yeah, just the... In theory, we could actually delete the unemployment basically by lowering the workforce ratio from maxing out old age pensions. So I'm not too worried about our high-level unemployment right now. Building those telephones, they are still downtrending. Contemplating potentially just building more construction sectors, because we're at the point where we probably need more construction sectors again. How's the infrastructure looking? We'll put some more in. Shove it to the front. And yeah, we're gonna need more telephone companies. Okay, let's do some grocers, food factories. So 10 of those. Actually, that's a question. Fish. Not domestic at all. Where's the most profitable places to build fish? In our country, of course. So, province, for example. Don't think is of our French Republic. Yeah, not one of ours. Oh, and I should actually sort by unemployed. Okay. Yeah, I need to actually do the sort by. There we go. So that is a person in our market. Dainan is in our market, so we'll build up their fish. See, our Istra is... That's not our market, that's not our market. Okay, apparently we're not got much fish expansion, even in the exterior of our market. Hormuz, I think Hormuz is in our... Well, also they don't have any unemployed stuff. Actually, I suppose it doesn't really matter with... but we'll want one minute. Okay, so fish isn't a solution to our demand. Okay, we're still predicted to have positive money, so we're going to want another... In this case, another 25. One whole patch, another 25. In fact, we'll go a little bit high. We'll do food gen as well. So we'll do those construction sectors, and then we're going to want to backfill the needs. So, like, 50 of this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oops. And each of these needs basically half a lead mine, so that's 25 lead mines. Plus another 20, so about 45 lead mines. Never mind. Build all the lead mines. We're gonna have to start encouraging people to move to the lead mines. Okay. We'll start bifurcating and running both plastic and oil. Or plastic to use oil and turning some back down to older production. We'll see about that. And then we're gonna need some steel. 15 of these. Again, based on employment. And then in theory, that's another 15 iron mines. And then might not be the right time to do it, but we're going to do it anyway. Breach loaders, and... So as we've electrified everywhere, so we can just press that button. It should be working fine. And the other one that wants electrification, that might be a short-term mistake to do, is explosives to brine. Okay, and then for building power plants, we can use this menu. Oh, this menu doesn't... menu's gotta be weird. Menu doesn't remove people from outside my market. Or outside the domestic market, which means... Well, we got a bunch of places where electricity is expensive, is basically what it's saying. Okay. Well, I suppose to a certain degree we can see where our market is by the fact that it's the places that actually shortages from the PMs. Yeah, okay. Queued, and there. There. Okay, I think that's good. Also put a decent queue in the queue, so we can let things, besides the power generation, complete, and evaluate at that point. It looks like we probably want to expand construction again. Again. More construction demand. Left the Supreme Alliance. Interesting. They left. What? Why would you... Because your relations declined, okay. How goes... people calming down from notifications? Isn't. Okay. Old age pensions is advancing, which is good to see. We have actually empowered at this point the socialist communists and anarchists enough that they are advancing. Whether or not they will advance enough within the year. Looks like it's a no. Yeah, so they're still going to fail that. Offers war brawl of Liberate Karen. I don't really want to fight the Great Britain right now. Thank you, though. And we continue to grow. line goes up. Unemployed count slowly going down. If for no other reason than the quicker we are at getting people jobs, the quicker the population growth goes up, which then makes it harder to keep giving all those people jobs. There's old age pensions, which in the short run will make it more expensive. So we can also get regulatory bodies while we're at it. Make government more expensive because we're now paying welfare. 300,000 in welfare. It's going to actually reduce the it's going to reduce the employment pool by 1% of the 25% it is right now. So we're going to lose about 1/25 of our workers, which is going to reduce those costs. We are, as I said, I think we're just going to go ahead and push this to the max. It's going to raise costs in the short run. In the long run, it's going to help us get everyone employed by getting the old people to retire. Let's take our position as number one by raising government wages. Which should help to generate more demand, which then we can fulfill. It's the cycle of having things to build. Safety negotiations. Support the trade unions. Or make concessions for it to go faster. We need enactment chance more than time. Don't necessarily need this done anytime soon. But we would like it to succeed, so more chance is good. Another one of our subjects is being uppity and grumpy. Okay, so at this point we're at those electric power plants, so this is time to build, well, queue up other things. Because we can basically get an idea of what the demand is for various things. Don't really want to build meat makers, because meat runs... well, actually, what we want to do for meat makers is we have mechanized slaughterhouses to swap to. There we go. That. We've electrified everywhere, right? So we'll hold off a little bit. We'll let the when we're done with the electrical power plants, we'll swap to that and see where we need more electrical requirements then. We're in public traded. Okay. We're out of lead to build, if memory serves. Or at least out of domestic lead. We could technically... Oh, in fact, actually, that's something to build. If we're out of domestic lead, then we need more import capacity, so we can start importing it. So, places of unemployment, build ports. Okay, and then do we have peasants in those places? So I didn't do that because we have peasants there, peasants there, peasants there. The two provinces we took off of Russia are a little low in peasants. And unemployed. What we might do is we might try to put some migration attraction degrees there soon. And we're definitely at the point where we need to build even more construction centers. Because we're back in a positive budget with 300,000 in welfare payments. So, quickly, place with the most unemployment, Hunan. Please gain another 25 structure sectors, and another 25 in Jingsu as well. Oh, and we still have... Okay, the next major industry we can probably tap is building more telephones, and then probably even starting to contemplate producing radios. Well, we'll start docking into radios after nitrogen fixation here. So we'll go radios next. Okay. Where do we still have some tax waste? Or lack of taxation capacity? Okay. And if here, as the country grows, we need more taxation capacity, so it is a thing that's just gonna be a place where we can reinvest every once in a while. Yeah, nitrogen fixation. We can temporarily gain a legitimacy bonus, which is nice. And then we'll grab radios. Okay, so first off, all the farms, get them to chemical fertilizers. Then the question is, do I think I have enough oil? That's not the fertilizer factories. It's the fertilizer factories. Do I think I have enough oil that this is not going to be a complete supply shock? So it's about 2k oil. This is wrong. Let's take all of this. What's the for? Okay, yeah, we got enough oil. Yep. And then we actually now have demand for oil. Surplus demand for oil, so we can go ahead and build another 20 oil wells. And yeah, well, I know I'm going to harken back to this because I said it basically at the beginning of the episode. The development of this nation has been delayed because I swapped for proportional taxation way too early. We'd probably already hit 1 billion GDP at this point, had I not done that. And I've done that on the previous runs. But I got greedy and I swapped too soon. But yeah, so we're running a little bit late. I still think we'll be able to hit 1 billion easily before we run out of game time. So I believe the game is 1935 is the end date. So we'll probably hit that in the next part. We are coming up on probably where I should go ahead and put a part break in. No, clothing demand is starting to pop off. Granted, I wouldn't be surprised if that is actually all the unemployed suddenly being able to afford clothes. Yeah. So, easily 60 more clothing factories. Okay, I'm going to do the queuing up of the new power plants, and then that's where I'm going to put the part break in. Hopefully in the next part I will actually be able to finish up the game. The game does run a little bit slower as you get closer to the end date, is what everyone tends to notice. And we can see that our peasants are probably declining faster than the unemployed. Maybe isn't completely unsurprising. Okay, so it looks like the factories may or may not finish. Robots may or may not finish in this couple weeks. Well, if I want to do what I want to do, it's now or never. Oh, actually, what we want is come in here. Not that one. This one. Power. Based on balance, negative balance. So we've got 6 short here. Oh, actually, I haven't done the electrification yet, have I? Or did I? Something was planning on electrifying. Oh, no, I electrified it, but assuming that there'd be a shortage, and there is a little bit of a shortage in some places. Okay. So then what we want to do is click here. Get away from that. So if we go by the balance, we got 6 short here. So it's 6 short, not 10 short. 5, 3, 3. And you notice I'm running, I haven't swapped the PM on these over to coal. I tend to find as China, we don't have... Like, China's got a lot of coal, and China doesn't have enough coal to do full coal-powered electricity. Often. Okay, we'll let that cycle for a couple more weeks, and then we'll go ahead and put the part break in. So I hope everyone has been enjoying, if you're watching this far into the series. What I want to do is I want to go ahead and play out the end date, see how big I can get the industry, and then if I have some free time, and well, this is being recorded during free time only, so this is not normally part of the normally scheduled streams. I'll go back to the episode, because I have a save from the beginning of the episode, where I, in my greed, took proportional taxes too early, and basically play as sort of an alternate timeline if I didn't do proportional taxes, and see if we can get the economy growing a little bit faster by delaying those proportional taxes. I do believe we are at the point where proportional taxes is the correct choice to be on at this point, right? So at this point, we'd be earning a whole million less revenue on normal taxation versus land-based taxation. And even per capita would be generating less revenue at this point. Okay. And we want more stuff in the queue. It's like furniture is up and coming. Probably again, as old age pension comes online, we start to subsidize welfare. That's providing more purchasing power to buy things. Wow, do I actually have so many factories? Furniture factories, I do. Okay, let's do 35 furniture factories. Get this spread out. $10, $15, $20, $25, $30, $35. But yeah, so we'll see if we can get our GDP going up higher by not doing per capita in basically a re-recording of most of the episodes. Oops. That'll be fine. So we got fire break for completing, well, not letting the communists get out of control, basically. Things will never be the same. We're trying for all of Great Qing. Actually, we're gonna do things will never be the same. Because I'm suspecting our way out of our great and glorious monarchy here is our prince here who likes the petite bourgeoisie is basically going to cause us to transition into some sort of non-monarchical government. We'll see. Yeah, so before I continue playing, because I need to go ahead and put a part break in here, this is a good place to stop, so I hope you've all been enjoying. There may or may not be a part up tomorrow if you're watching on YouTube. This is being recorded if and when I have free time. So, for example, today I've had enough time to record, okay, one part that's probably longer than it should have been, but one part today. So, this will be a follow-up to a part that was recorded yesterday. Whether there'll be a part up tomorrow will depend upon when I get around to recording another part tomorrow. So with that, wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next one, and bye for now.